On top of breaking news wherever you are.
Gotta go.
Follow News 13 on Twitter. Now, the latest breaking news.
Right now, we have the latest on an overnight shooting that involved an Orlando police officer. That's in the first 2 minutes.
Happening now, it's an eye-opening experience along Orlando's I Drive. I'm Jason Wheeler live in Orlando. The grand opening of the Orlando Eye happening in just a couple of minutes.
And another person expected to throw his name into the ring for the White House. So who is he and why is he drawing so much attention? Your morning news starts right now.
From News 13, the morning's first news. Traffic and weather together. This is your morning news, Weather Now.
Well, good Monday morning to you. It is 5 o'clock. I'm Sandra Osborne in for Beth Bruce-Wall today. As we kick off your work week, let's get started right away with your weather and traffic together. Ryan Harper is watching the roads for us, but first, listen thanks to meteorologist Maureen McCann with a look at the forecast. This weekend, it was absolutely perfect. The weather was beautiful.
I know, and we're going to start to see some subtle changes away from the perfect conditions because it's going to be a little bit more breezy and we're going to have some increased humidity. But overall, not too bad. Looking outside early on this Monday morning in downtown Orlando, we have a temperature in the middle 60s. Dew point still comfortable, 57 degrees. That's going to start to come up in the next couple of days. A look at those temperatures. They really range from west to east, with Ocala away from the coast, 55 degrees. Meanwhile, with onshore flow, Melbourne very mild at 73. It's calm for the most part at the coast, but that onshore wind is going to be picking up. I include that in your bus stop forecast for this afternoon with a blend of sun and clouds. Also watching a couple of coastal showers. More on that coming up. Need to see how the roads are looking right now, though. Early on this Monday, we head over to Ryan Harper for our first check of real-time traffic. Good morning, Ryan.
Thank you, Maureen. Good morning to you as well. 5:02 your current time. No major accidents to report so far, which is great news to start your Monday morning commute. Couple of construction scenes out there. I-4 eastbound near Maitland Boulevard. There's still a right lane block. Our traffic sensor is not picking up, though, any significant delays. And also I-4 traveling westbound to the Osceola Parkway. Earlier, we did have some delays in this area, but looks like most of this is cleared out. A couple of right lanes are still blocked again in that westbound direction. And that's your Central Florida Hyundai dealers real-time traffic update.
Now, the latest breaking news.
Orlando police are at the scene of an overnight shooting that involved one of their own. Now one man is in custody while another is on the run. The shooting happened in the Pine Hills area along Chantel Road off of Silver Star Road. News 13's Julie Gargata is there for us live this morning. Julie, walk us through exactly what took place out there.
Well, Sandra, this all stems from a carjacking that actually took place 2 days ago. Let me get out of the way so you can see the scene. Still quite active here. Now, when an officer pulled up behind a suspect's car and ran their plates, he realized it was a stolen car that they were looking for. The car quickly turned off Silver Star Road onto Chantel Road and parked in a driveway, the officer not far behind. He immediately called for backup, but that's when things took a frightening turn. Two suspects in the stolen car got out, and the officer did too. As he began chasing them, one fired at him and he returned fire. Neither the suspect with the gun nor the officer were injured in the shooting, and Orange County Sheriff's deputies and a canine unit were called in to help. Now, police say they were able to catch the suspect who was firing at the officer. He is in custody this morning, and the FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, is now conducting an investigation into this officer-involved shooting. But at this point, police say one suspect still on the loose this morning. They are looking for a man in his early 20s, and they do not believe that he is armed. Live in Pine Hills, Julie Gargata, News 13.
New this morning, a child is recovering after being hit by a golf cart in Orange County. It happened at the Nassau Bay Apartments in Orlando last night. Police say 3 minors stole a maintenance golf cart. They cut through a playground area, lost control, and hit a 2-year-old. Police say the 3 minors ran away from the scene. They were never found. The child was taken to a nearby hospital, but is expected to be okay. Well, take a look at this here. A mobile home is seriously damaged after a truck slams right into it in Volusia County. It happened in Port Orange. The owner of the mobile home says a woman was driving this truck and crashed right into the home. No word yet on what exactly caused the woman to crash. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. Time now is 5:04. The owners of the massive Orlando Eye made quite the splash last week, bringing in famed daredevil Nik Wallenda to walk on the top of the rotating wheel. Beginning today, the general public will be able to see firsthand what the City Beautiful has to offer. News 13's Jason Wheeler joins us live right now along iDrive at the entertainment complex known as iDrive 360. And Jason, that number 360, it's something taken to heart there.
360 as in 360 degrees, Sandra. It's what guests will experience in a number of ways here. Of course, it's kind of hard to miss the main attraction here, that of course being the Orlando Eye, which stands some 400 feet tall in the air, giving guests that 360-degree view of Orlando. And while select guests, they were given a sneak peek the last few days, the attraction officially opens up at 9:30 this morning. And while it is the biggest piece of the iDrive 360, it is not the only one. Madame Tussauds Orlando will be open as well. Visitors there get that 360-degree look at the famed wax figures of the biggest celebrities of the world, and they are extremely lifelike. And then there's Sea Life Orlando. It opens its doors as well today, described as an interactive aquarium. It features a 360-degree ocean tunnel, and more than 5,000 creatures from the Atlantic, Indian, and Pacific Oceans will of course be here all morning long as we talk with those first guests to try to see for themselves what all the construction has been going on here, what has been brought to Orlando, the latest entertainment complex here in the heart of iDrive. Reporting live in Orlando, Jason Wheeler, News 13.
Tonight, Osceola County Commissioners will finally decide if Colt, the gun manufacturer, will officially pull out of the county after failing to deliver the jobs they promised to bring to the area. We first brought you this story back in 2011 when they signed a contract with the county and the state promising 63 high-paying jobs, but they never showed. For months, we've told you about how Osceola County has put Colt on notice, saying they better show up and start working to deliver those 63 jobs or else. But now Colt and Osceola County have come to an agreement. The only catch, Osceola County would have to pay off Colt's $150,000 debt to the state for renovations. But county commissioners say paying their debt may be their best option, because if they don't agree to pay it, they may have to go to court. That could take months or even years. If county commissioners agree to pay the debt, then the Colt agreement would be terminated immediately and the county could rent the building to another tenant. They'll be making their decision during tonight's board meeting. The man accused of stabbing another man to death and hurting 3 other people is expected in court this morning. Deputies found 23-year-old Daniel Leja still inside that home where the attack took place and arrested him. It happened at an Apopka home early yesterday morning. Marcos Alvarez Jimenez was killed and 3 others remain in critical condition. Investigators believe Leja knew the victims and stabbed them after a dispute. Neighbors told News 13 they could hear people screaming.
I'm sorry for the one that passed, and I just hope that, you know, they get the justice they deserve.
And the man suspected in all this is facing murder and attempted murder charges. 2 people are dead after a shooting in Texas. Investigators say 2 armed men who opened fire on a security officer outside of a contest for cartoon depictions of the Prophet Muhammad have been killed. They were shot by Garland police officers. It's still unknown if the shooting was actually related to the event. Those there say this was a scary situation.
There were military or policemen everywhere running and urging us quickly to get back inside as fast as we could. And so, of course, we, followed their instructions.
And the security officers' injuries are not life-threatening. Another candidate is officially joining in on the action for the race to the White House. Dr. Ben Carson is expected to announce his run for president this week at the Detroit Music Hall Center for the Performing Arts. Carson just recently became a Republican after spending years as an independent. The retired neurosurgeon is believed to be an underdog in the race, but definitely has people talking. Carson made history after successfully separating conjoined twins. Supporters have set up a YouTube channel called Run, Ben, Run. Meanwhile, Ben Carson isn't the only Republican expected to announce his run for president this week. Former Republican Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee is expected to announce his presidential run. Huckabee isn't expected to make his big announcement until tomorrow, but he already released a 2-minute campaign ad. He's slated to make it official in Hope, Arkansas, where he was born. Well, we want to know, do you already know who you plan to vote for in the presidential election? Head to mynews13.com and take part in this morning's online poll. Well, Cinco de Mayo is tomorrow, and AAA doesn't want you to drink and drive. So whether you are a AAA member or not, you can call for a tow-to-go ride anytime starting tomorrow, going all the way until 6 in the morning Wednesday. AAA will then safely drive you and your vehicle home or somewhere safe within 10 miles. The service is free. Remember, if you do plan to go out and have a drink, have a plan in place in order to celebrate safely. This means either staying where you are celebrating or having a designated driver outside of the tow-to-go program.
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
Good Monday morning. It's now 11 minutes past the hour. I want to start out with a look at your weather headlines so you can know what to expect today and for much of the upcoming work week. Onshore flow, persistent winds coming in off the Atlantic. That's going to make it breezy, especially at the coast. That also will send in enough moisture for a couple of coastal showers. Today, they'll be very isolated. However, rain chances increasing by Tuesday into Wednesday as some moisture lifts through the Bahamas. And that system, however it may materialize, is going to set up some rough ocean conditions. And even today, the rip current threat is elevated. I'll show you that in your surf forecast in a moment. But first, let's look back on this morning on dry land. Conditions out at the Orlando Eye for the first day that it will be open to the public. Early this morning, conditions were quite quiet for that. And we should be looking at a decent day. Most areas are not going to see rain. We still have high pressure in control, but because of that onshore flow, as we send in moisture off the Atlantic, that is going to set up perhaps some very isolated coastal showers. Also watching some moisture down to the south, extending back towards Cuba. This is the direction we're going to be turning to for our increasing rain chances that I just talked about on Tuesday and Wednesday. But today it's the wind, and Storm Tracker 13 outlines that with the wind speeds and the directions, all these arrows signaling moisture off the Atlantic, and it is going to be a bit breezy at times. That a few gusts could top 20 miles per hour, and that's not just at the coast, it's inland too. And this persistent flow is going to be upon us for tomorrow as well. So we'll label it as windy with east-northeasterly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour, 70s at the coast, low to mid-80s inland, a little bit below average because we typically should be around 86 this time in May. Tonight with the onshore flow, warmer temperatures at the coast because of that wind coming in off the water, middle 60s inland. Tomorrow, a slightly better chance of rain in the afternoon. Temperatures will be a lot like today. Here's a look at that surf forecast with the high rip current threat and also a high UV index too, since we will have partly to mostly sunny skies, and the UV index will be in the very high category. Here are your tide times for today. I'll have more coming up in less than 10 minutes. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13.
Good Monday morning, 5:12 is your current time. I'm Ryan Harper with a check of your real-time traffic. A good start overall, no major accident activity to report. Our big board is still looking pretty good for the most part overall. This is I-4 eastbound of Maitland Boulevard. Still getting reports here of a right lane blocked just for the next hour or so, at least at the very most, I should say, until 6 a.m. And also I-4 traveling westbound, couple of lanes blocked as you approach the Osceola Parkway. And looking at our traffic sensors, we do have some slow conditions as you approach. Looks like almost back to around 535. So those speeds are not too bad, though, just underneath the speed limit. It's going to be busy, but you can still see hovering somewhere around 60 miles per hour. That's your Central Florida Hyundai dealers real-time traffic update.
After days of unrest in Baltimore, the curfew has finally been lifted, and city leaders are hoping for a peaceful week. Plus, if you've been working hard in the gym, but you're still not seeing those results that you want, it may be what you're doing after the gym that's the issue. And your health headlines will help you figure out a better post-exercise routine. That's all coming up. Stay here with News 13. We're back in just a moment.
When you suffered a tremendous loss and come to the Pendas Law Firm, you're not just another number. In fact, we're focused on our aggressive abilities to deliver the justice you deserve. We take great pride in what we do, and we care deeply about you. So after an accident, just call Pendas.
News 13 News is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. For the people. Online at forthepeople.com.
Eyeglass World asks, what do you look for when you buy glasses? I like to mix it up, so I need bold styles, classic styles, and affordable prices. Having lots of choices and saving money is important. That's why I come to Eyeglass World.
Only Eyeglass World gives you 2 pairs for $78, so you can always afford more than 1 pair.
My glasses are part of my personal style. They're me.
Eyeglass World. Glasses that make the difference. Prices that make it possible.
I know that when I turn on to News 13 that I'm always going to get exactly what I need anytime I need it.
I love to watch it because it's a 24-hour thing. I can always just see what's going on.
I watch your evening news because it gives me a recap of the day.
It is 6 o'clock. I'm Marla Weech.
It helps me plan my day and lets me know what's going on and makes my life a lot easier.
Everybody needs to be informed nowadays.
I don't watch any other news station but News 13.
And every time I turn on, it goes right to News 13.
Your evening news is on News 13.
To make a difference requires action, a rejection of the status quo, a refusal to stand still. From innovation to impact, Orlando has made its mark on the world stage. Home of the country's second largest university, UCF, a leader focused on making a difference. From exploring and researching to collaboration and partnerships, we are redefining possibility.
You've needed this for a long time. Just let go. Tradewinds Island Resorts.
The Pendas Law Firm doesn't easily settle with the insurance companies. We fight for every penny you deserve. It usually takes aggressive and experienced representation to get you the maximum for your claim. And if not, we'll try to get it here at the courthouse. So after an accident, just call Pendas.
Florida Lottery is brought to you by the Flooring Center. High-quality floors in service since 1985. 3 locations: Orlando, Dr. Phillips, and New Smyrna Beach.
The city of Baltimore is looking to start a more peaceful week. The curfew is now over, and the Maryland National Guard is in the process of demobilizing 3,000 troops. They were brought into the city after rioting broke out last week, protesting the death of Freddie Gray. Over the weekend, people thanked the troops for their service. Gray died from a spinal injury while he was in police custody last month. 6 officers have been charged. Officials say 200 businesses were lost to rioting. Dozens of people were arrested. Now city leaders just want the area to get back to normal. The death toll from the earthquake that hit Nepal continues to rise. Now at least 7,276 people have died from the quake. This includes 6 foreigners and 45 people from Nepal found over the weekend. Runway damage is forcing officials to close the main airport to large aircraft, delivering aid to millions of people. They say the airport was built to handle medium-sized jetliners, not large military planes. Thousands of tents are also being sent to Nepal to help with shelter issues. An all-female college will now accept transgender applicants. Smith College is changing its policy to now accept transgender women. The new policy takes effect for those applying this fall. The college previously asked undergraduates to have consistently identified as female since birth. Smith will not, however, admit students who were born female but identify as male. The reason for the change? The president of the school says that the concepts of female identity have evolved.
We're in for a generally quiet start to the work week with the exception of the wind. We're going to have a breezy onshore flow. You'll especially notice that in the immediate coastline. Stay tuned for all the details coming up in your Weather on the Ones.
After an auto accident, neither the insurance company nor the person that caused the accident will be acting in your best interest. At Martinez Manglardi, not only will we focus on your best interest, we will fight for all the compensation that you deserve. Call us today, Martinez Manglardi.
Stay on top of breaking news wherever you are.
Gotta go.
Follow News 13 on Twitter.
I was relaxing after a hard day of elementary school. Thanks to FBC Mortgage, we have the perfect home. Then I got a text from Jenny inviting me to take a dip in the pool at what I thought was her new home. Apparently, their mortgage company couldn't close on time, so Jenny went from Wi-Fi to no-fi. I give them points for trying, but they should have called FBC Mortgage.
do that. My guy doesn't do that either. Well, my guy doesn't do any of that. Well, maybe you've got the wrong guy.
At Massey Services, we use preventive techniques to keep pests out so you don't have to control them later. That's better for you, your family, and our environment. That's Massey Services. Expect more and get it.
The weather can change in a flash. That's why News 13 has your back with your weather on the ones forecast every 10 minutes. News 13, news weather now.
Accidents happen in a split second.
This guy slams into me. The guy has no insurance or license.
At Martinez-Manglardi, for 25 years, we've been fighting for justice in auto accident and medical malpractice cases. Call us or visit our website. We're here to help.
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
Good Monday morning. It's now 21 minutes past the hour. Now here we are at the beginning of May. Hurricane season officially begins in just a few weeks on June 1st. Now it's not uncommon for us to still get some tropical-like features even out of season before June 1st. That's why we're headed to the tropics here at 21 past, showing you what's going on. Not a whole lot right now, but there could be some development. There's a lot of uncertainty, and it's still in the long-range outlook, but I want to give you an overview of what's happening there because we do need to watch it as the week wears on. But today we're in for quiet weather across central Florida, although it will be a little bit breezy with that onshore flow wrapping around high pressure to the north, so our winds are going to be noticeable at the coast. Notice that high pressure has suppressed this lingering frontal boundary off to the south, and oftentimes in the beginning of a tropical season, or more so at the end, we get these lingering fronts as they come off the lower 48, and they may start to generate some spin. There's still a broad area of moisture, very poorly organized now, but this is where we're going to be watching for development of an area of low pressure should it decide to move through the Bahamas and towards the waters offshore northeast Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas by the end of the week. So the National Hurricane Center has actually flagged this area with a 30% chance of tropical development. Again, this is over the course of 5 days, not imminent, and even at that, it would be away from central Florida. We'd be on the back side of it, so we'd be dealing with the drier conditions, but we can watch how that unfolds hour by hour on Storm Tracker 13. Starting with today, remember, the longer the arrow, the stronger the winds, so it is going to be a gusty day along the coast with that wind pushing it off the Atlantic, making it feel a little bit more humid. Could be a coastal shower today, but notice the coverage is pretty minimal here. Overnight, very quiet but mild at the coast with the onshore flow. That moisture that I was talking about over the Bahamas and eastern sections of Cuba, that is going to be lifting north. An area of low pressure is expected to develop. By Tuesday night, some of those showers may start to encroach upon areas south of I-4. That low stays parallel to the coastline, but there will be some showers and some stronger northeasterly winds on the back edge of it. So Tuesday and Wednesday will be our days this week with a slightly higher rain chance. By Wednesday evening, that pulls away from the coast. We still will have breezy conditions, and the biggest headline out of this one will be some rough ocean conditions for the boaters. That's something we do have to watch in the coming days. We'll have more on that with your marine forecast coming up at 41 past. But in the meantime, your forecast and writing today, like the weekend, we'll enjoy a good deal of sunshine. We'll phrase it as partly sunny and breezy with some of those coastal showers. Your pollen forecast brought to you by Trial Pro, the Trial Professionals. These levels will be medium for the next 3 days. Now, 7-day outlook, including a low chance of rain today in the form of a coastal shower. Our highest rain chances will be Tuesday and Wednesday, and maybe even on Thursday. But bottom line, the low stays offshore. We're talking about just showery weather, and temperatures that will be in the 80s all week long, with overnight lows in the mid to upper 60s to near 70. More in less than 10 minutes. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13.
Good Monday morning, 5:24 your current time. I'm Ryan Harper with a check of your real-time traffic. This is I-4 at Magellan Boulevard. And earlier we had reports of a right eastbound lane that was blocked in the area. It looks like the road work is continuing, but for the most part it does look like traffic is moving just fine throughout the area despite the overnight construction. So here's the area I'm looking at right here. It's being affected by construction. You can see, looking at our traffic sensors, as the eastbound traffic moving from the bottom to the top. So far so good for the most part with no delays. Looks like things are still wrapping up up here, I-4 westbound at the Osceola Parkway. Earlier, we had reports of 2 westbound right lanes blocked in this area. We've had some residual delays stretching back almost to State Road 535, so maybe give yourself a couple of extra minutes of travel time if your travels take you closer towards the Disney attractions area this morning. That's your Central Florida Hyundai dealers real-time traffic update.
In today's health headlines, the Florida Department of Health is confirming an outbreak of adenovirus in the Fort Myers area. It's a highly contagious respiratory illness that causes cold-like symptoms, pneumonia, and sore throat. Officials can't say exactly where the outbreak took place, but a Catholic school in Cape Coral sent home a letter to parents warning of the outbreak. In the letter, the principal says that the school hired a cleaning service to sanitize the school. Health officials say adenovirus rarely causes serious illness. Still not something you want. In other health news, your post-exercise routine may be holding you back from reaching your fitness goals. So here are some things you should do after a workout. First, spread out your protein. Instead of one big meal, spread out your protein intake throughout several meals and even your snacks. Your body can only process so much protein after a meal. And remember to get at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. I know it's hard. Repairing and rebuilding happens when you're sleeping and your body isn't moving. Also, avoid those sugary sports drinks unless your fitness routine is really intense and in the heat. And finally, cool down with music. This is interesting, specifically slow jams. After a workout, they say music helps improve recovery and relaxation. Oh boy, well, take a look here. This could have been the result of a dunk gone wrong. Seattle police found a shirtless man dangling from a basketball hoop after he climbed up there and got stuck. You can see the man thrashing around as several officers try and figure out what to do with him and how to get the man down. Eventually, firefighters arrived and cut the net to free him. Seattle police jokingly tweeted the man could be arrested for property destruction or at least goaltending. I'd say that's one embarrassing story. Do you see news happening? You can always send us videos or pictures anytime to phonecam13@mynews13.com. And no surprise here, the Avengers proved mighty this weekend. Avengers Age of Ultron placed #1 at the box office, bringing in a whopping $187 million. It became the second biggest U.S. opening ever. The all-time record for a film's debut belongs to its predecessor, The Avengers, which opened back with $207.4 million in 2012. In a distant second place, The Age of Adeline with $6.2 million, and ending the top 3, Furious 7 with $6.1 million. Police are investigating an officer-involved shooting in the Pine Hills area. We are at the scene with those details in our next half hour. Plus, remember, you can keep track of weather conditions all over Central Florida with the News 13 Plus app. Find out what conditions will be like as you navigate your day. News 13 Plus is free and available to download for both Apple and Android devices.
News Weather Now. You're watching News 13. News Weather Now. Only available to Bright House Networks customers.
After an auto accident, neither the insurance company nor the person that caused the accident will be acting in your best interest. At Martinez Manglardi, not only will we focus on your best interest, we will fight for all the compensation that you deserve. Call us today, Martinez Manglardi.
Sunshine or chance of rain? Follow the weather experts on Twitter at MyNews13Weather.
Just a few hours remain, and the rush is on to the Rooms to Go spring sale. You only have until 9 p.m. tonight to get once-a-season savings store-wide on Cindy Crawford Home, the Sofia Vergara collection, on tons of clearance items, even ultimate TV packages. Plus, you can finance interest-free until January 2018. Remember, we need to make room. You love to save, and when it's gone, it's gone. So hurry to the Rooms to Go spring sale before it ends at 9 p.m. tonight.
I don't like bullies. This includes corporate and government ones. Whether a powerful insurance company, a government entity, or opposing counsel attempting to crush good people, I fought this fight my entire career. If you followed my career, you know this. If you haven't, please go to NeeJameLaw.com or Google me for more information. When you're up against big business or big corporations, NeeJame Law is at your side. Being bullied? NeeJame Law. Help is here.
Working out like this reminds me of my days as an athlete, and my gym is a free Bright House Wi-Fi hotspot. So with apps like Watch ESPN, I can watch TV while I work out.
All right, time to pack up the gun show.
Watch TV anywhere with these great apps and discover more ways to connect at letsconnect.com.
Non-attorney spokesperson. Local Forecast is brought to you by the PennDOS Law Firm. If you were in an accident, just call PennDOS.
As human beings, we want to believe that our medical care is the best. The truth is that medical malpractice is actually the third leading cause of death in the U.S. If you suspect that you or a family member has suffered from medical malpractice, call us today.
Now, the latest breaking news.
Right now, one person is in custody, the other still on the loose. We have the latest on an overnight shooting that involved a police officer. That's in the first 2 minutes.
As we're working, I can see that they pulled the managers to the side, and one of my managers just started breaking down.
A surprise shutdown. A restaurant closes its doors as people are eating, firing employees right on the spot.
From News 13, the morning's first news. Traffic and weather together. This is your morning news, Weather Now.
It is 5:31 on your Monday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sandra Osborne here along with Ryan Harper and meteorologist Maureen McCann. All right, Maureen, let's talk about this weather. It's been beautiful. Is that going to last today?
Today, there will be a couple exceptions in that there will be some coastal showers, and they're going to be very hit or miss, putting in a 20% chance of rain in the forecast. However, some of them are rolling as far west as Orange County. We have a little bit of activity here on Storm Tracker 13, just talking about some very light showers pushing off to the west. And it seems like they are moving right along 528, so expect some wet roadways there perhaps, and also in coastal Brevard County. See how there's some rain starting to move towards you from the Atlantic. There will be a few of those showers making their way onshore throughout the morning. It's mild in Melbourne, 73 degrees, 60s along the I-4 corridor. Winds are going to be picking up today. It is going to be a breezy day, but there will be a blend of sun and clouds too. So that's your bus stop forecast. I'll have your county by county forecast next at 5:41. We want to see how the roads are looking right now. Ryan Harper standing by, real-time traffic. Things still looking pretty quiet for us, Ryan?
For the most part, Maureen, they are. Good morning, 5:32 your current time. I'm Ryan Harper with a check of your real-time traffic. I do want to check out what things are looking like along the East Coast as well this morning. I-4, I-95 interchange still looking pretty good. A lot of green out there, and that green color is the color that we like to see. That means things are currently up at speed. This is Brevard County. So far, so good. You can see along I-95 both directions so far. Your top speeds hovering around 70 to 75 miles per hour at this point in time. And also some good news for you that I-4 eastbound construction or Maitland Boulevard has now been cleared after a right lane was blocked from the overnight hours. That's your Central Florida Hyundai dealers real-time traffic update.
Now, the latest breaking news.
An investigation into an officer-involved shooting is underway this morning. One suspect is in custody, but another is on the loose. The shooting happened just after 1 o'clock this morning in a Pine Hills neighborhood. It's along Chantel Road near Silver Star Road. News 13's Julie Gargana is there live this morning. Julie, right now, who are police searching for?
Well, Sandra, after police captured one man last night, they're still trying to find another. He is still on the loose this morning, as we mentioned. He is in his 20s. Police do not believe that he is armed, but they do think he was the driver in all of this. Now, it was back on May 2nd that police say an armed carjacking took place. They have been searching for that vehicle since that time, but just last night, as an officer patrolled by Mercy Drive and Princeton Street, he located that car and matched the plates. Inside, two suspects. They quickly turned off Silver Star Road onto Chantel Road and parked in a driveway. The officer followed them and called for backup just as two suspects in the stolen car got out. The officer began chasing them. One fired at him and he fired back.
The suspect was not injured, and our officer was not injured also. The suspect that was firing, we do believe K9 and Chase did respond and was able to locate that suspect.
As the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE, investigates, that officer is on paid administrative leave as per standard protocol. Live in Pine Hills, Julie Gargata, News 13.
Students at an Orlando high school are reacting to the news that one of their teachers is accused of having sex with an underage student by showing support. News 13 went to 25-year-old Ethan Hickey's apartment Sunday afternoon. Hickey is the Edgewater High School teacher being accused of having a sexual relationship with a 14-year-old. We found a note of encouragement from students on his door. One of those notes says, "We know you didn't do it and we wish you the best." Hickey is on leave with pay while the district wraps up an internal investigation. He bonded out of jail Friday night. In Orange County, a fire in Ocoee has left one home just destroyed. It happened Sunday when firefighters got a call about flames coming from the second story of a home off of Glenhaven Circle Lane. When firefighters got there, they found out no one was inside the home at the time of the fire. It took more than a dozen firefighters about 40 minutes to control the blaze. As you can see, the home is just a total loss. Neighbors told us while the fire was going, people were worried that the blaze could impact nearby homes.
It's a little bit scary, yeah. I mean, it could happen to any of the houses here too. So you never know. It could have been.
Now investigators are working to figure out what may have started the fire. News 13 has learned the attorney representing the Windermere man suspected in a series of alleged rapes has quit the case. Leslie Sweet isn't saying why she's parted from her client, only that she's no longer representing the man at the center of this investigation. News 13 has decided not to reveal the man's identity at this point because he hasn't been arrested. Windermere police collected bags of evidence at his home on Thursday after serving a search warrant. Police say they believe at least 3 women were sexually battered at the home before 2012. They also believe the man recorded the women engaging in sex acts. The police department is now reviewing the evidence, which will then be presented to the state attorney's office for any possible charges. Well, here's an unusual story. Employees and customers of Mimi's Cafe in Orlando got quite the unwelcome surprise after a general manager suddenly put up a closed sign on the door and locked up, all with guests still inside. Employees say they were serving their customers Sunday when the general manager and the district manager walked into the restaurant to notify them that they're out of jobs. Customers who were inside at the time of the closure say they witnessed employees starting to cry and get emotional around them as they were finishing up their meals. Now those employees are left to figure out what exactly to do.
Feeling really upset for the fact that no warning, and I have a 1-year-old at home that I have to take care of.
The general manager tells News 13 that the restaurant will turn into a La Madeleine Country French Cafe. We're told those employees were asked to come back today and tomorrow to clean up the restaurant and pick up their last paycheck. Your County by County coverage continues right now in Orange County. That's where a group of homeless students are getting some much needed help. Summer of Dreams is kicking off its 5th year to help those students in need. It's a 10-week summer program that provides 2 meals a day, activities, supervision, and school supplies for homeless children. The program also provides financial counseling for their parents. The first day of the program starts today in Orlando. And heading over to Seminole County, that's where some artists lined the streets of downtown Sanford for this year's St. John's River Festival of the Arts. Some of the artists became displays themselves as they dressed for the occasion. Kids also got in on the fun by creating their own chalk art, and a living water fountain also made an appearance. It was all part of a festival that featured more than 125 artists. More than 20,000 visitors attended during the weekend. And Seminole County wasn't the only area celebrating art over the past couple of days. There were plenty of arts and crafts to go around in Volusia County. More than 100 artists were on hand for Art in the Park. It was at Rockefeller Gardens. On the Halifax River in Ormond Beach, there was art for sale, and kids had the chance to make their own crafts. By the way, Bright House Network sponsored the 2-day event. This was the 43rd year for Art in the Park. Remember, for more County by County news anytime, you can just head to mynews13.com. All right, if you've ever driven through a school zone before in the morning or the afternoon, you may feel one of our viewers' pain. Thomas from Orlando writes in saying, quote, "I really hate when I'm driving to work and people are literally parked in front of the school waiting to drop their kids off, clogging up traffic. Can they do that?" Our real-time traffic expert has the answer in this week's Traffic Inbox.
The Florida Highway Patrol says that every school day they see lots of parents illegally dropping kids off and picking them up, like stopping on a main road and just letting the kids hop out. Many schools have even gone so far as to post signage prohibiting drop-offs except in designated areas.
But even if there's not a sign there prohibiting it, you cannot drop your child off in the middle of a roadway. You cannot stop and impede the flow of traffic of other cars to drop your child off.
FHP says that's against the law because it's extremely dangerous. You're also not allowed to block a road even if you're just waiting to pull into the school's parking lot.
But if you find yourself in a long line and you're blocking the lane, technically it is against the law unless there's some type of emergency. You are to circle back again and get in the line once it is cleared the main portion of the roadway.
Now, Montez says this is common at schools along main roadways. For example, 2 schools where she says they see repeated issues are at Dr. Phillips High School there in Orlando near Universal Studios and Timber Creek High School in East Orange County. Thanks for your question, Michael. And if you at home have a traffic question, we can answer it for you. Head to mynews13.com/traffic inbox and just fill out the simple form. I'm Ryan Harper with Traffic Inbox News 13.
A local World War II veteran with an unbelievable survival story celebrated a huge milestone this weekend. Friends and family gathered to celebrate Odell Barb's birthday. The World War II Staff Sergeant turned 100 years old. During the war, get this is unbelievable. Barb survived heavy gunfire while glider landing into enemy territory when a razor in his backpack stopped a bullet from hitting and possibly killing him.
Very unique to have gentlemen at 100 years old, but to have a World War II vet that saw some heavy action and survived it, it's a treasure. He's a very special person.
Barb lives at home with his wife, who he's been married to for 68 years.
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
Welcome back to your Weather on the Ones. It is now 41 past the hour. We always focus on your boating conditions at this time, and that's going to be a main focus in the coming days because of winds that will be strong off the Atlantic, generating high seas, and the wind that you'll notice if you're going to be out at the beaches. There's your easterly wind at 10 to 20 knots, and your marine forecast indicates a couple of showers. So today being Monday, starting out the work week, we're not looking at conditions that were as pleasant as what we had over the weekend, but becoming hazardous. This is going to be deteriorating over the course of the next few days. We'll have choppy conditions on the intracoastal. Now, there is a low chance for a couple of very isolated showers today at the coast, and that could mean Daytona Beach, New Smyrna Beach, some brief showers rolling through, otherwise breezy with partly sunny skies. Upper 70s at the coast, lower 80s inland. In Brevard County, we'll also stay in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees, winds topping 20 miles per hour at times. This rain chance included, but it's going to be very hit or miss. Not everyone will see it, so you still will have some dry conditions for those outdoor plans. When we get away from the coast, we'll have the lesser chance to rain and 83 for St. Cloud today and for Point Siena. Seminole County, your Monday is shaping up to hold some lower 80s with winds out of the east-northeast 5 to 15 miles per hour. Those conditions will be considered a little bit below average. We're typically around 86 for this time of the year. Again, inland locations, a lower chance of rain, a blend of sun and clouds. 82 for the Villages today and 83 degrees for Eustis. Orlando going for 83, and not too far behind Winter Park, the UCF campus, and Bithlo. Winds breezy east-northeasterly. Very low chance that maybe one of those coastal showers could make it into East Orange County, but the better chance of rain will come tomorrow and on Wednesday. I'll talk about that in your 7-day forecast. I have that on the way at 51 past. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13.
Good Monday morning, 5:43 your current time. I'm Ryan Harper with a check of your real-time traffic. Well, now we have 2 center lanes blocked, I-4 westbound, close to the Disney attractions area at the Osceola Parkway. You can see we do have some slow traffic as a result approaching that scene, stretching back to almost State Road 535, but that is about it in terms of your significant delays throughout the area. As you get closer to the Beachline interchange, closer to SeaWorld, the Orange County Convention Center, things are completely up to speed throughout that area, looking pretty good. And traveling a little west along, east on the beach line, closer towards your Orlando International Airport. No delays to report there either, and along State Road 436 as well. That's your Central Florida Hyundai dealers real-time traffic update.
A big win for Dale Earnhardt Jr. at Talladega. Why this victory was so emotional for the NASCAR driver. That's coming up in your Toyota Sports Minute. Plus, don't forget you can watch News 13 wherever you are all day long on the Bright House TV app. It's free and easy to use, so you can take News 13 with you. If you need help signing up, by the way, we have that info on the front page of our website, mynews13.com. All right, stay with us. We're back in just a moment.
After an auto accident, neither the insurance company nor the person that caused the accident will be acting in your best interest. At Martinez Manglardi, not only will we focus on your best interest, we will fight for all the compensation that you deserve. Call us today, Martinez Manglardi.
News Weather Now. You're watching News 13. News Weather Now. Only available to Bright House Networks customers.
Marine Forecast is brought to you by the Personal Injury Division of NEJAM Law. If you've been in a car accident or injured, NEJAM Law. Help is here.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, sweetie.
I'm in love.
¿Tiene novio?
Boyfriend? It's a beautiful thing. Finally have enough space.
Por fin uno que la entiende.
He understands her, but they just met.
I'll send you a picture.
The new Toyota Corolla with the style and space you've been looking for.
Good taste.
Now get the 2015 Corolla LE with a $159 per month lease for 2 years. Toyota, let's go places.
At the Trial Professionals, we believe that our clients' experiences speak for themselves.
They just called me at all times. There wasn't really any space in between things. They kept very good contact with me.
Anytime there was a change in the case, they were on the phone with me that day.
They would call me often and let me know, hey, where are we sitting? What's our timeline looking like? They just kept you up to date on everything.
Don't just hire any attorney. Hire a trial professional. Call 1-800-TRIAL-PRO.
Learn about Florida's climate and explore the science behind the weather. Go to mynews13.com/projectweather.
I'm sorry, but there was nothing we could do.
Unfortunately, that statement is not always true. Medical malpractice is the third leading cause of death in the U.S. If you suspect that a loved one has been harmed by medical malpractice, call us.
A lot of NASCAR fans so happy for Dale Earnhardt Jr. Sprint Cup Geico 500 from Talladega. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins it. First time for Jr. at Talladega since 2004. He got emotional afterwards, saying he'll never be cautious at this track again. Thoughts of his father came through. He said, it was my daddy's birthday a couple of days ago. Dale Sr. won 10 times at this track. Now, NHL playoffs. Bolts Canadiens tied at 1. Steven Stamkos hadn't scored, does now. What a move on the goalie. The Lightning with 3 straight power play goals. Bolts win at 6-2, up 2 games to none. Game 3, Wednesday night in Tampa. Bright House Sports Network is your home for high school sports. We bring you the state softball championships live Thursday, live Saturday. And it's only on Bright House Sports Network.
Today I'm tracking a few coastal showers, but through the next couple of days, those rain chances will be increasing. I'll have all the details coming up in your Weather on the Ones.
After an auto accident, neither the insurance company nor the person that caused the accident will be acting in your best interest. At Martinez Manglardi, not only will we focus on your best interest, we will fight for all the compensation that you deserve. Call us today, Martinez Manglardi.
News Weather Now. You're watching News 13. News Weather Now. Only available to Bright House Networks customers.
I love appliances. Appliance Direct. Had you washed or ever ruined your clothes? It's your delicate cycle. True hand wash means 2 things. Number 1, hand wash cycle that says hand wash. Smoother the tub, the less wear on your clothes. White porcelain. Appliance Direct's Amana 3.5 cubic foot washer. ApplianceDirect.com for price. If you didn't buy direct,
you paid too much!
Bright House Sports Network is the only place to witness awesome high school softball championships live. Catch every big hit as the best teams in Florida swing for the fences and a shot at the state title. Watch all the action on air or online with live streaming. Go to BHSN.com for a complete schedule. High school softball championships only on Bright House Sports Network. Your home for high school sports. HD 1147, exclusively on Bright House Networks.
Love times 2 is equal to me and you, because love times 2 is something we can do. Add it all together, you can't get better. That's understood, because love times 2 is equal to me and you.
Stay on top of breaking news wherever you are.
Gotta go.
Follow News 13 on Twitter.
In real life, an auto accident is one of the worst things that can happen to you. An auto accident can be devastating. Choosing the wrong lawyer can be just as devastating. For information regarding our experience and results, visit martinezmanglardi.com.
Your accurate weather experts forecast with Storm Tracker 13.
Good morning. It's now 51 minutes past the hour. I'm meteorologist Maureen McCann. Hope you had a good weekend. Perhaps you went out to the beach. The weather was great for it. We had lots of sun and the temperatures were comfortable. Lee Mayfield was at Satellite Beach and sent this picture along to us. Today we're going to see more clouds and even some showers and rough surf developing too. So if you do head out to the beach, definitely share your photos with us. You can submit them on News 13 Plus, but check in with the lifeguard because things will become a little bit more hazardous today and especially in the next couple of days. News 13 Plus is available by going to mynews13.com/app center to learn more. That's going to come in handy as we dodge even a couple of showers this morning. You can track them right there on Storm Tracker 13. I want to go back and talk about those wave heights though, because they are going to start to pick up. Plotting them here on Storm Tracker 13, generally around 3 to 4 feet. There will be a developing area of low pressure coming up from the Bahamas, and that will also help generate our wave heights too. We can plot some of those here. And this system is still getting organized, but it's a sign of low pressure, and whenever the pressure drops, wave heights come up. Here's what's happening on Storm Tracker 13, and yes, it's 51 past. Starting June 1st, at this time, you're going to get your tropical update. Now, it's not uncommon for us to get out-of-season tropical systems, so that's why we're watching this cluster of thunderstorms down to the south of us along this stalled frontal boundary. Should this pick up a little bit of spin, that would be the area of low pressure that would form and move up through the Bahamas and elevate our rain chances for the middle part of the week. Still some uncertainty. It would be in the long-range forecast, a 5-day outlook from the National Hurricane Center, a 30% chance of development. Maybe by the time the low gets here, it would start to become a little bit better organized. Bottom line, the system's going to stay offshore. We will get some increased rain chances out of it for the middle part of the week, but it's something worth watching, and a reminder that even though it's technically not hurricane season, we still can have some activity there. Today, though, some coastal showers being drawn on shore with an easterly wind. That's going to be breezy at times today. Otherwise, the weather looks pretty quiet along the East Coast if you're going to be traveling on this Monday. Unsettled across Central Plains and back through the Rockies with the cold front diving down there. There will be a decent temperature contrast out ahead of it. The warmest temperatures they've had in months for New England. 70s there, and also for New York City, 75 degrees. Cooler behind it. You can just tell by how the colors drop off there. Today, our conditions are going to be similar to the weekend, that we're going to have the pleasant temperatures, but it's going to be a little bit more humid, and that onshore flow may generate some showers, putting in a 20% chance. Even tonight, there could be a sprinkle. Storm Tracker 13 highlighting that area of low pressure with the steadiest rain staying offshore, but we'll be on the back edge of it. We will have some showers increasing here as a result on Tuesday and Wednesday. So coastal showers today, 83 degrees. For tonight, continued breezy, 65. Tomorrow, putting in that rain chance at a 30% likelihood and 40% on Wednesday. By Thursday and Friday, we'll see the drier air filter in, and we should stay that way for the weekend. More in less than 10 minutes. Right now, a live look at Storm Tracker 13.
Good Monday morning, 5:54, your current time. I'm Ryan Harper with a check of your real-time traffic. This is I-4 at Maitland Boulevard, and you can see the construction barrier walls up throughout this area, but all lanes of traffic back open again, so good news overall. Also, another construction scene that is back open is I-4 traveling westbound to the Osceola Parkway. Earlier, we did have 2 center lanes that were blocked. No longer the case, though, at this point, which is great news. This is a live look at downtown Orlando. Excellent start overall here. As you can see, traveling eastbound into downtown, about 6 minutes to go 6 miles from Conroy Road through Colonial Drive. And that's your Central Florida Hyundai dealers real-time traffic update.
The Boy Scout slogan is to do a good deed daily. But as Ed Highland explains, this week's everyday hero performed a good deed that was months in the making.
This truck and trailer are jammed with boxes to be unloaded, a job the residents at the Russell Home for Atypical Children were thrilled to do. And in the middle of them all, a not-so-typical teen.
I read about them online, and they seemed like a great organization. I really wanted to help them. They broke my heart of how they helped so many kids over the years.
A.J. Ortiz still bears the scars from a dog attack at age 9, and he's never forgotten how others helped him cope while in the hospital. That memory drove his Eagle Scout Troop 220 project into a mission.
We have white washcloths, girls' body wash, boys' body wash, mouthwash, trash bags.
In fact, 4 years worth of trash bags, over 20,000. There are about 30 kids of all ages here at Russell Home. Some have been here for decades. They all have special needs, but bottom line is what they need most here is day-to-day living supplies.
We need socks, we need soap, we need paper plates. Those are things that we need every day, and people don't realize we got to know, and we rely totally on donations.
AJ had only asked for donations of goods, but people dug into their pockets to help too, and he surprised the Russell Home with a check for $3,000.
Oh my God!
But it was the reaction from residents to his efforts that left AJ the richer.
I thought I was going to cry, tears of joy. No one's ever done anything like this for me, and I just felt so happy to receive all this appreciation, and I was very appreciative to be able to help them.
AJ Ortiz, everyday hero. For News 13, I'm Ed Highland.
Time now for a look at what's happening in our community, sponsored by Todd Minor Law.
When you suffered a tremendous loss and come to the Pendas Law Firm, you're not just another number. In fact, we're focused on our aggressive abilities to deliver the justice you deserve. We take great pride in what we do, and we care deeply about you. So after an accident, just call Pendas.
With News 13, you get your news, weather, now. The traffic every 10 minutes, the weather every 10 minutes, so you can plan your day ahead. It's what we do best.
At Bright House Networks, we love being a part of our community. Hello, Central Florida.
Jim waited his whole life to buy this car, and thanks to Orlando Federal Credit Union, his dream came true. You see, the dealership made it easy to drive away in the car he wanted, but the financing, not so great. Orlando Federal Credit Union helped Jim refinance his car, and for $50 less a month. So now Jim has a little extra gas money to take his best girl out for a joyride. Apply today. Orlando Federal Credit Union. Because you're more than just money to us.
At the Trial Professionals, we believe that our clients' experiences speak for themselves.
They just called me at all times. There wasn't really any space in between things. They kept very good contact with me.
Anytime there was a change in the case, they were on the phone with me that day.
They would call me often and let me know, hey, where are we sitting? What's our timeline looking like? They just kept you up to date on everything.
Don't just hire any attorney. Hire a trial professional. Call 1-800-TRIAL-PRO.
The weather can change in a flash. That's why News 13 has your back with your weather on the ones forecast every 10 minutes. News 13, news weather now.
The Pendas Law Firm doesn't easily settle with the insurance companies. We fight for every penny you deserve. It usually